Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The first order of business here will be the adoption of the agenda. So if I could have a motion from the board to do that, adopt the agenda as presented.
I make a motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion to adopt by Trustee Bitton and seconded by Trustee Loxam. Are there any objections? Is everybody okay with that? Okay, the agenda is hereby adopted. The next order of business is the approval of minutes. Now I understand that we have a written motion here from Trustee Kelger to amend the minutes of the regular board meeting held on December the 14th. So therefore, Trustee Kelger, is there a seconder for Trustee Kelger's written motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, seconded by Trustee Elliott. Now, since this is your motion, Trustee Kelger will have it open for discussion, and you're up first there, since it's your motion.
Okay, and that motion was seconded by Elliot? Oh, yeah, okay. So, this is regarding the December 14th minutes, which, as you may recall, we didn't have them at our last board meeting, and so there's just three corrections, and the first is simply adding my name to the trustees that were in attendance, so that's number one. And in between item 3 and 4, Administrator directed to include reply letter from Trustee Loxam to Trustee Kelger, add reply letter from Trustee Loxam to Trustee Elliott as part of the minutes for information and for the record. That was in the December 14th minutes. As those of you who were here, you recall there was quite a discussion about that, and it was decided by the board that both those letters would appear in the minutes. So apparently, according to our administrator, that is not usually done. So I'm suggesting that we add a link to the minutes with a location on the UBID website where landowners can easily access and read these two letters. Because that was the intention of the motion that was already passed. As it is, just to know that the landowners have been waiting since November to read those letters, and actually the questions directed to Trustee Loxam originate from August of last year, so it's been a very long time coming. So I think that's the simplest way to achieve that motion, which is, as we did with the resignation letters of the previous 3 trustees, there's a link now on the UBID website where landowners can access those letters. So that's the second item. And the third item is the very last item under correspondence. The minutes do not reflect what actually occurred. As you recall, that was when the chair was answering some landowner questions, and I asked a question regarding the understanding of those questions, and that led to the chair declaring the meeting adjourned. So we do have an audio and video recording of that event, And I have provided the transcript of that event, which I can read. But basically, shall I read the transcript? No? So basically, I'm suggesting that the transcript be included in the minutes in lieu of paragraph 1, 2, and 3. And also to provide a link where the landowners can access that transcript. So those are my 3 motions. They're basically correct, not 3 motions, it's 1 motion with 3 parts to basically correct the December 14th minutes to reflect what actually occurred.
Okay, for purposes of discussion, Trustee Loxam, are you prepared to weigh in on this?
Well, personally, I think there's been way too much time spent on this. We have more important things to talk about trying to get a filtration system in place at affordable rate for the people of Union Bay. I did answer Trustee Kelcher's letter. It's not what she wanted to hear, and you know what, quite frankly, that's the end of it. Again, we have more important things to go forward here for the people of Union Bay, and let's get our water cleaned up. So.
Trustee Elliott, you're next.
Yeah, I think to avoid getting into a long, heated discussion regarding this, I think Trustee Calger is just trying to have the record of the minutes, or the record of the meeting reflect what went on either in the minutes or on the website. I don't think we're ever going to agree on content of what was said or what wasn't said. So in terms of providing an accurate record for the ratepayers, I think it should be included on the website with a link so people can make up their minds for themselves and just put all this to bed and be over and done with.
So just a point of clarification. Just to clarify, there's really the 2 letters that motion was actually already approved by the board, so there's no undoing that motion. It's simply how those 2 letters would be posted. I'm suggesting it be posted by a link. And the second is that instead of the paragraph being a summary, which is hearsay basically, of what occurred, simply to submit the transcript of what we have verification of what was said, and it's not very long. To simply submit the transcript is the fairest and most accurate way to have the minutes reflect what occurred.
Trustee Ben.
Yeah, I don't see any necessity to define this. You say that this is a transcript, but there's actually verbiage in here, such as Bitten indignantly says. So, I mean, that's an interpretation. So, I'm not going to approve this. The minutes are to control the, grasp the intent of a meeting, not right down to dotting an I and a T. That event that occurred is something I think we all wish never happened. So, let's just move on.
Trustee Kelcher.
Again, we have an obligation to record accurately for the landowners what did occur, whether we regret it or not. The fairest, the most equitable, the simplest way to do that is simply to state what occurred. And absolutely, if you wish to cross out indignantly, that's absolutely fine, I agree with that. However, questioning in the middle of a meeting was what you stated. So every other comment is absolutely verbatim what the recorded, and it's on a recording right here, what was stated. Whereas what exists right now is inaccurate. So I believe we have a duty to record accurately, especially on a contentious issue, what occurred, and let the landowners, who are intelligent people, decide for themselves. That's our legal obligation.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, that will end the discussion part of the motion. So now we're prepared to take a vote. So those in favor of the motion, raise your hands. Those not in favor of the motion, raise your hands. So we have a tie again. And again, as chair, I'll exercise my prerogative and vote against the motion. I believe this matter has been dealt with. And the motion will not be carried.
So my name will not appear as the trustees?
Trustee Kelger, the board would invite you to make a motion in that regard if you so choose.
Well, first of all, okay, so I will amend the motion to surely my name, I was there.
You were late.
I beg your pardon?
Go ahead. You were late at the meeting, that's why your name wasn't there.
Was I at the meeting, Trustee Lawson?
Later, yeah. You weren't there at the beginning of the meeting.
Was I at the meeting, Trustee Lawson?
Okay.
Let's move on.
I was exactly 2 minutes late, so I was at the meeting. And also, the motion to include these two letters and have them posted on the website or part of the minutes, that was already decided. You cannot change a motion that was already decided. So, what I hear you're doing is rejecting the third of my motion, which was to submit the actual transcript. You cannot delete the first two, adding my name and having those two letters posted. That was already decided.
It was your motion, though. Why would you not separate it? But anyway, that's fine.
Okay, let's move on here. We have a lot of business to get through
No,
here.
we're not moving on. I've made an amendment
Yes.
that my name be added and that the two letters, as already decided, be posted.
I'm sorry, but we've already defeated that motion. If you wish to have your name added to the minutes, yes,
You can't defeat,
we can entertain that.
You can't defeat a motion that already passed. The minutes of the December meeting record that it was passed to have that letter posted.
Trustee Kelger, your motion was defeated, okay?
No, it was not defeated in the December minutes. It just so happened that the letters didn't appear because the new administrator said we can't attach the letters to the meeting.
Yes, that's correct.
So how can you defeat it? It states right in the minutes that the letters were to appear, and it was passed by the majority of the board.
Trustee Kelger, you made a motion and it was not carried forward. So we'll have to move on. Next order of business is 3B, minutes of the regular board meeting held on February the 16th, 2017 for adoption. Okay. So what I'm looking for here, we have the minutes here, and the board's had a chance to look at them. So I'm going to ask for a motion from the board to adopt the minutes of the regular board meeting held on February the 16th as presented.
I would like to make a motion. I would like to make a motion to amend the February 16th minutes. I would like to make a motion to amend the February 16th minutes, and the section that needs amendment is where the chair,
Yeah, you can take that. I don't know if you grab that.
is where the chair started to speak about the CVRD. I'm just trying to find it. Somebody could help me. Where the chair spoke. Oh, yes, here it is. It's right at the very end, which was a question from the landowners, where why can't there be a committee to study the impact of dissolution, and it should be UBID, not BBID. Page 8.
Yes.
Where it says BBID, I believe that should be UBID. In favor of CVRD. The chair responded that the CVRD does not want UBID at this time. I have actually correspondence from Bruce Jolliffe, and this is what I would like to have added to the minutes in the interest of accuracy. I'm not sure how Peter came up with his comment. I did explain there was a process to be followed. I also mentioned that it takes a bit of time. It is not overnight, as there are steps in that process. As far as Royston goes, the only thing I mentioned was that there was some challenges during the transition which were not related to the water system per se, but with a former Royston trustee who was not happy with the fact that the water system would be part of CVRD.
I believe you're making a motion to amend the minutes. All of that has nothing to do with the minutes. If there's a particular item in the minutes that you want to amend, address that directly. We're not going to have a speech off of the minutes.
It is,
Please amend.
it is not a speech. The chair responded. In the minutes, it states, the chair said CVRD does not want UBID at this time.
And that's what he said.
But however, the person he's quoting, Bruce Jolliffe, has replied differently.
He wasn't here, and that wasn't in the minutes, so you cannot amend that in here.
Point of order, who's the chair?
Okay, what we're considering here is just a motion to amend the minutes, and you're quite correct, Trustee Kellinger. The impact of dissolution of BBID should be UBID. The comment I made was just that. It was an opinion of mine that that was part of the minutes. Whatever Mr. Jolliffe has to reply were not part of the minutes, so therefore we can't include those. So on the point that you made there, I am recommending that we change the initials BBID to UBID.
It's not really necessary to make a motion to correct the typo.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be corrected.
So, therefore, I guess what I'm asking for again is a vote to to adopt the minutes of the meeting of February 14th.
I make a motion to adopt the minutes as read. As presented.
I'll second it, yeah, I'll second it.
Okay, well, talking to the mic.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion from Trustee Benton to adopt the minutes of February the 14th as presented, and it's been seconded by Trustee Loxam. So we'll now take a vote. Those in favor of adopting the minutes of February the 14th as presented, raise your hands. Those not in favor of adopting the minutes of February the 14th, raise your hand. Okay, well, as chair of the board, I'll exercise my prerogative again and vote for the motion, and the motion is carried. The next item of business we have is business arising from regular or in-camera board meeting minutes and reports. And Section A is consider policy procedure change for annual elections. Perhaps Mr. G could give us some input on this.
You can hear us all tonight, can you?
Yes,
Good.
thank
I
you.
did get at least one complaint that we were a little too underpowered last time. We have an election coming up. The last time, there's certainly a heightened level of interest in trustee positions and elections. I understand, because obviously I wasn't here, that the by-election in the fall and was actually outside of even a special meeting of the board, of the members, but that the AGM last year was very difficult to control for the trustees and for the election year's personnel. It was suggested to me that we needed to move it outside of the AGM. The document that we're looking at tonight is a change. There is policy on it at this time. The policy essentially doesn't allow for anything else outside of the AGM. So we need to amend the policy, which primarily basically reflects the language of the Local Government Act, which is very brief and not particularly useful, but it does state that you can have the election at the AGM or other. You can have it by show of hands, or you can have it in a private ballot or other. So the language here is just changed to include or other, which allows us to proceed with the election outside of the annual general meeting. And we hope that that will actually be fair and a much better controlled process. It allows us to give you an opportunity to vote in an advance poll, which you can't do if you're doing it in the AGM. If you're not there, you don't vote. So we have an advance poll, we have an actual polling day, we have nominations. Obviously, if you're polling in advance of the AGM, you can't take nominations from the floor, unfortunately, anymore. So the nominations have to be to me by April the 4th. And basically, we'll see how this goes. If everybody's going to sign up for this, we'll see how it goes. There may have to be more tweaks next year when we find that doesn't work, or that does work. So that would be where I'd be leaving it at this point. And are there any questions about what we're trying to do here? Nothing bad, I hope. The other part of my administrator's report, I'll get to it a little earlier, is that the board has employed a third-party election returns officer. Rather than myself being the chief election return, that's another change that's in there, is that allows for the administrator or other to be the election returns officer. I frankly do not, at this point, with my lack of experience with so many of the systems and things that we do here, have time to be the election officer. And so I'm very, 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 very pleased that the board supported that decision. So Peter Crawford, a former planner at Courtney is our chief election officer, and he had a lot to do with the documents you see before you. Is there any other questions on this policy change? And I will pass it back to the for discussion.
Okay, we'll ask for a vote on this policy change, but perhaps I could get a motion from the board to vote on this.
I make a motion to vote on the election policy 1-B-11, the amendments in there.
I'll second that.
Okay, we'll open this up now for discussion. So, Trustee Coucher, would you care to go first? Okay. Trustee Elliott.
If I could move an amendment to the motion, I believe we should be adopting the policy in its whole, not just the amendments that are in the policy. So adopting the motion, amended motion would be to adopt the election policy 1D11, not just adopt the amendments in the policy.
So, yeah.
Point well taken, Trustee Elliott. Trustee Bitton, you have anything to discuss? Trustee Locks?
No,
okay, so we'll take a vote on this now, on the whole policy as suggested by Trustee Elliott, of course. So those in favor of adopting the policy, raise your hands. Okay, we have all four of us, all four trustees voting in favor. The motion is hereby carried.
That's the first. Mark it on the wall.
Okay, moving along here, we have a number of reports now to go through, and the first one will be Mr. G's administrative report. And I think what we'll do here is go through all the reports and then make a move at the end to adopt them, rather than do each one, if that's okay for you. So, Mr. G, perhaps you can start.
We don't get to talk very much at board meetings, nevertheless. We have been, the water meters were read some time ago actually, and I'm getting read, we're a little behind on getting the information out, mostly because I'm not familiar, am I close enough? I'm not familiar with the right water system as familiar as I should be. So Gloria Royer has been extremely helpful to me in helping me get that thing out. They went in the mail today. There's a few more in the mail tomorrow, but basically your January, February bill? February bill is in the mail. I have also, in the last couple of days, posted the automatic withdrawals for the first parcel tax payment. So there's been a lot of questions about those, and we're getting there. Slowly, unfortunately. A lot of interest in the water situation. I'm meeting with KIP. I have had a meeting with Brian and James Madison, who is the provincial facilitator. I'm not quite sure what facilitator means in this context, but nevertheless, he's been very helpful to me. He's very knowledgeable on water projects and stuff like that. At this point, we're in negotiations, and there isn't much I can tell you about it. Nothing's been agreed to at this point. It's still, everything's in the air, so I really can't tell you what's going on there at this point, but we are talking at this point. We have had 6 or 7 now, I think, applicants for the job of administrator. Some of them are very qualified, some of them not so much, but at least we have candidates, and there's a possibility we can move ahead on that fairly quickly once the competition closes. It closes on March 28th, in case any of you were planning to apply. The board elections, as you know, I'll repeat one more time, because every notice we get counts. April 4th is the close of nominations. April 11th is the advance poll. It's going from our office hours